welcome to my channel. My name is Regina Chris-Ogbodo. Yes, your trainer on Speak and Write. Of course, I am an Elocution, Diction and Presentation expert. Now, a lot of people are developing the interest to speak to audiences, maybe as a trader or a businessman or even a conference speaker, but they have some challenges. I've observed over the years some of the things people go through as a result of Speak and Write, and some really actually have asked me, what must I do to speak right? When you begin to speak, you must understand the language of your audience. Quite a lot of people understand that yes, they speak well, they talk well, but they don't know how to define their audiences. So you must understand what audience you're talking about. A very, very formal audience, or you're talking to an informal audience. That will help you to speak right. And then we talked about the language of the audience. A lot of people have jargons and languages, and not because they're not good in speaking, but they use such jargons that are not acceptable or understood by that audience. So if you do not understand the language of the audience or the audience itself, you might as well become a bad speaker. Now we're moving on. Yes, we're moving on. The next point in Speak and Write, let me begin by telling you, because quite a lot of people, yes, I know you might have gone to school, you might have gone to communication school, but you wouldn't understand. Sometimes you are not taught these things. I must say twice that you're not taught in school. So what do you know? Or what must you do? Know your strength and your weaknesses. And by this I mean, some people have challenges in pronunciation of words. And so when you want to be a good speaker, understand the kinds of languages or words that are applicable to your pronunciation. If you're good at speaking grandeur words, that's fine. But if you know that your strength is in simple words, just articulating it right would do. Do not, and I repeat, try to use words just because you feel other people know how to use it. You might not succeed in that. So know your strength in terms of pronunciation and your weaknesses in terms of pronunciation. If you must be a good speaker, please bear that in mind. Now let me give you an explanation. I actually had issues pronouncing this word that everybody thinks can say it right. Exaggerate. It took me a long period of time for me to pronounce that word well. Exaggerate. Of course, coming from phonetics and diction. Now, there are words that might sound so simple in pronouncing, but some people do not know how to pronounce them. So if you come across such words, why not avoid them? Because that exactly is your weakness. So you look for words that are your strength, that you could just bring out without having to exact so much energy or repetition or just trying to sound like you're stammering. Because most times good speakers are not supposed to be found stammering. So take that as another point in Speak and Write. And then another thing I must say here is, do not try to impress. A good speaker does not get out of his way or her way to just impress people. And that's what a lot of people try to do. Now, what do I mean by impressing people? We know, I do not want to come, of course, I'm talking about back in Nigeria here, there are some people that are very good in using grandiloquent languages, words. And it seems as if it's cool for them. You might not exactly be the right thing for you as a good speaker. Try to speak words that express your message. Just express your message. That will do. Do not impress, because audiences are different. Like I told you, having on the studio audience, do not take that audience for granted. Quite a lot of people think that when they try to impress, they're trying to make the audience look so feel that they are so fantastic. At the end of the day, the audience just switches off, and then you lose your audience. So as much as possible, as a good speaker, do everything as much as possible to say as you want it understood. And so do not impress, just express. Well, that's it for today. I still have quite a number of words or advice to give to you in speak and write. But until next time, I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. Once again, I'm expecting your questions, and so that I could answer in due course your questions or just contribution. All you need to do for me is to subscribe or like. Once again, my name is Regina Chris-Ogbodo. Until next time, bye.